Welcome to Rockford, Michigan. You're watching the New York Gremlins on the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan here with Luciano Lofrano. Still a few minutes before we get underway here with this morning's game, now creeping into the afternoon. This was a 11 o'clock a.m. scheduled start. We'll talk more about that, but first let me welcome all of you to Rockford, Michigan, just about 10 or 15 minutes north of Grand Rapids, Michigan, a little bigger city. Making some history here in Rockford, first time they have hosted this tournament. This is the USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. New York Gremlins, last year's winner in Mankato, Minnesota. Greg Neidick and Sean Vondeval out around home plate, exchanging some lineup cards as we speak. Midland, Michigan, better known probably as a Michigan location for this men's major. They held it a number of times. This particular venue, a four-diamond beautiful complex, the Meyer Sports Complex here in Rockford, a state-of-the-art facility featuring picturesque four-diamond complex laid out in a wagon wheel style. Many of the participating teams staying just down the road in Grand Rapids, as the New York Gremlins are. As we kick off the exciting weekend here, let's not forget last year's champions, the New York Gremlins, coming away a winner. So they are trying to defend that title. They have 8 world titles, 8 ASA USA softball men's major titles to their credit. They rank second only to the legendary Clearwater Bombers, who have 10. So the Gremlins nipping at their heels, trying to add another one to it. 17 other teams here in Rockford who will try and have something different to say about that. Top 5 teams out of the ISC rankings and more. We'll talk about that some more. So settle in. We're in for a weekend of some great ball. A little rain delay last night. No sign of rain here today. The fields are dry and ready for the preparation. So just about ready to get underway. Gremlins in their green down on the first base side. The Pueblo Bandits in their red tops with the black pinstripes over on the third base side. Pueblo Bandits are the longest standing men's open team around. They've had a program for the past 36 years. One of those original players, along with Chris and Jerry Santos, the founders of the team, Sean Vondeval on hand here, 36 years with one club. Don't know that Cal Ripken or Tony Gwynn even matched that number. So for 36 years, 1988, they have stood as a testament to their passion for the game and their skill year after year. Bandits come in riding on some momentum. They have already played one game. They were a 6-3 winner over Team 518. That game started last night, got halfway through, rain delay, some hard rain, and so they finished up this morning. They led 3-1 when the play was halted last night and continued on, kept the lead the whole way, and wound up a 6-3 winner. Mateo Macas, the winning pitcher in that game, so they are 1-0. They face a formidable opponent in the New York Gremlins. The Gremlins 23-3 on the season. Hot and ready after a great outing in Elkland. They won the Gremlins Invitational in Elkland, Pennsylvania last week. They were 5-0 on the weekend. All 3 pool play games were wins. Came out on Sunday and won the semifinal and the final. Semifinal, a 5-1 win over the Drillers, and the championship game, 10-3 run rule victory over the Hill United Chiefs. We see the Gremlins taking the field, so they are the home team. We'll get to the lineups in just a moment. Happy to have you with us from wherever you may be watching. Pueblo batting lineup today. There you see it on the screen. Chris Norris will lead things off. David Jaluska, the fine young player from the Czech Republic, in the 2 spot. Pablo Figueroa batting third. Nestor Nova from the Dominican Republic in the cleanup spot. Anton Brown from Denmark in the 5 spot. Alan West in the 6th. Isaac Nunez will be the DP. Dan Vigil batting 8th, and in the 9th spot, Caleb Roberts. Melvin Bautista will be the pitcher, not batting. Defense for the Gremlins in this one. Familiar faces, a couple of changes in the lineup today. They've been missing a few players due to injury and other things, but defensively they'll stack up. Matthew Waugh back in left field, Benny Noka in center. Lucio Redemar, the newcomer this year, in right field. Around the infield, Brian Avery back in the saddle after missing last week. Cole Evans at short. Ladislao Malarzouk at second, and Blake Hunter starting over at first. Eric Ochoa getting a breather in this one. Nick Mullins, the veteran from the Team USA, behind the dish and in the circle, getting a start, fresh off his championship game win in Elkland. From Checha, Kuba Osicha. Here comes the first pitch. That one in for a called strike. Kuba got the start in the championship game against the Chiefs and pitched very well. Gave up a couple runs late. The Chiefs at one point were facing a run rule. Scored a couple. Big home run by Kyle Ezekiel. And it looked like we were going to play 7 until the Gremlins batted in their half of the inning. Nick Mullins getting aboard and Matthew Waugh doubling him home. Nick Mullins showing off some speed coming around third, sliding in for a walk-off. There's a high hopper to Evans. Evans up with it over to Hunter. 6-3 for the first out of the game. So 1 out recorded. And the batter will be David Jaluska. Jaluska, the shortstop for that Checha national team, playing second base here with Nova starting at short. Kuba set and ready. In on the outside edge. Kuba, a strikeout pitcher. 50-some-odd strikeouts in just 41 innings pitched, so better than 1 an inning. Way upstairs, big rise ball takes a big jump, but started out of the zone. Winds up over the head of Mullins. So defense for the Gremlins straight away. Avery and Hunter, the boys from British Columbia, on the corners, just about even with the bag. High hopper to Hunter, spears it, he'll have to hurry. And just in time, reaches out and tags the bag. That ball pulled Hunter way off. Malarzouk was coming in, but Blake says, I've got this one. So 2 outs recorded in the first. That'll bring up the third hitter, Pablo Figueroa. Figueroa, the right fielder for this Pueblo Bandit team. Little lazy drop ball away for a ball. Kuba surrendering just under 7 base runners per game, so less than 1 per inning is his ratio. Pretty good by any standard. Just 9 walks in those 41 innings. So a very good strikeout to walk ratio. Ball downstairs. Jack Besgrove, the ace of the staff, also the workhorse. Jack with 80 innings compared to Kuba's 40. Kuba is second in that category. Good over-the-top drop ball, snaps in for a strike. But Kuba getting plenty of playing time and pitching very well of late, pitching with more confidence. Change up and a beauty. That one's fouled up along the right side. Just when you get yourself ready for the hard stuff, here comes the floater. Good changeup from Kuba. If you're keeping a scorebook with us, Kuba is spelled with a K, not C. Kuba the pitcher, not the country. High pop-up. That one's going to be up and over the backstop. We're sitting right behind home plate. Great view of the game. Happy to share it with you on the Gremlins Network, courtesy of our friends at Softball Premier TV. Just missing inside with that one. Kuba takes a long look, but Pablo Figueroa aboard as the first base runner for the Bandits. And that'll bring up Nova, Nestor Nova, the shortstop. Nova's faced the Gremlins before. Veteran shortstop from the Dominican Republic, in for a called strike. Ositka doesn't waste too much time. Pretty quick pace to the game. Gets the sign from Mullins. Mullins, the veteran. Kuba, for a large part, just lets him call the game. Beautiful drop ball. The bottom falls out, in for a swinging strike. Warming up a little bit here, but still very pleasant temperatures. They say we'll be into the 90s today. Not yet. We'll enjoy it while we can. Pretty humid time of year for Michigan. Just underway in this 11 o'clock scheduled start. New York Gremlins and the Pueblo Bandits. Swing and a miss. He buries that one under the hands of Nova. Down on strikes he goes. First of the game for Kuba Ositka. For the Bandits in the first, no runs, no hits, a man left. We head to the home half of the first inning. We'll get our first look at the Gremlins here in Rockford. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. Home half of the first inning for the Gremlins. Their batting order today, Matthew Waugh will be leading it off. Ty Sebastian on loan from the Toronto Batmen in the second spot. Benny Noka third, Cole Evans in the cleanup spot today. Blake Hunter in the fifth, Brian Avery to follow him, Redemar after Avery, Malarzouk and Mullins rounding out that batting order. Defensively for the Pueblo Bandits in the outfield, Chris Norris out in left field, Caleb Roberts in center, Pablo Figueroa in right. Around the horn, Vihel at third, Nestor Nova short, David Jaluska at second, and Alan West over at first base. Anton Brown doing the catching, and in the circle pitching for the Bandits will be Melvin Batista from the Dominican Republic. Batista, the veteran of the two pitchers that we'll see for Pueblo. Mateo Macas winning that first game, closer in age to Jack Besgrove and Kuba, down around the 20 mark. So the veteran here going against the Gremlins. Matthew Waugh steps in with a batting average of .328. He is among the leaders in runs scored. No surprise there, as he usually is. In for a call strike. Matthew missed the Ashland tournament, one of the only tournaments the Gremlins didn't win, and his presence sorely missed in the lineup. Generally speaking, as he goes, they go. He is the spark that lights the offense. Fouled up and out of play over on the left. Matthew with 20 runs scored, second only to Lucio Retamar, and Retamar has played in virtually every game. "20 hits also, not just 20 runs, but 20 hits to go with it for Waugh. Off the plate outside. The defense for the Bandits, straight away. Center fielder Caleb Roberts shaded just a shade towards left. Little change drop, misses downstairs. The Bandits come in ranked in the recent set of ISC rankings at number 18, just ahead of number 19 Ohio Bombers and just behind number 17 the Oswego Redmen. Gremlins, of course, at the number 1 spot where they have been for the last couple of seasons. Change up, misses downstairs. Batista bounces it. So Matthew Waugh leading it off with a walk, and it'll bring up Ty Sebastian. Ty, a member of the Canadian national team, a regular member during the season of the number 6 ranked Toronto Batmen. Ty played with the Gremlins in one other tournament this year up in Port Huron, Michigan, or I should say over in Port Huron, not far from here, just across the state. Swinging a foul tip, just missed that one. Good hack at it, had Sebastian. Ty comes in about 500 on the batting average. Small sample size, of course, with just the one tournament, but played and pitched very well for the Gremlins at Port Huron, one of the tournaments they did win, one of the number of them. Fouled off out of play on the right side. 4 diamonds with 3 of them pretty much behind us. It's a wagon wheel layout, so as a fan, it's heaven here. You can take in 4 different games, top-level teams on every diamond. We mentioned the top 5 are all here again this week. We saw them a week ago in Ashland. Was it even a week ago? Number 1, Gremlins. Number 2, Hill United. Number 3, Northeast Drillers. Number 4, Bear Creek. And number 5, Circle Tap. The latter 2 teams winning today. Bear Creek, a winner in their opener. And Circle Tap on this diamond just finished a win in their first game over the Midland Explorers. Off the plate away. Anton Brown, one of the few left-handed catchers. So it's a different look from behind the plate. Just underway here, first inning. Pueblo did not score. Top part of the Gremlins batting order here, Ty Sebastian. Same pitch, same result. Foul ball over on the right side, out of play. Benny Noka waiting on deck, and Cole Evans to follow. Ty's Toronto Batmen, Canadian national champions last year in that what is now in a legendary 15-inning game they played in the finals. Ty playing He had it stolen, but Inoka takes ball 4 and continues to mount that walk tally. Showing some great patience all season long. So no hits in the game yet, but the Gremlins with runners at first and second, and Cole Evans will step in. Cole from New Zealand. Big day on Sunday at Elkland, Pennsylvania in that Gremlins Invitational. Cole had a double and a homer in both the semifinal and the final game. And it was that 3-run home run in the final that really broke the back and put the Gremlins in the driver's seat to go on and win that tournament. But a big day for him, 5 RBIs. Cole coming in with a batting average around 352. Fouled out of play on the right side, swinging late, but just trying to go with the pitch. Cole second on the team in home runs with 4. Only Eric Ochoa has more with 6. Also second in RBI with 17. Behind, you guessed it, Eric Ochoa and his 28. Eric, as we mentioned, not in the lineup today. Blake Hunter getting a start over at first, and Brian Avery filling in at third for the injured Jerome Remeke, who had a bone in his wrist broken, hit by a pitch up in Saskatoon at the beginning of July, and uncertain whether he will return this season. A tough loss for the Gremlins, but versatile players like Hunter and Avery performing capably. Little slow roller down to second. They throw for the out just in time to get Inoka. Evans aboard on a fielder's choice. Moving over to third is Matthew Waugh. So a big out recorded for the Bandits. Looked like the throw might be coming late, but he stayed with it. And second baseman David Jaluska hanging in there tough. Looks like he might have caught a cleat on the turn. Skipper will come out and have a word with his pitcher and a couple of the other infields. They're going to check on Jaluska. The runner was right up on him by the time the throw came in, so I think he may have gotten stepped on out there. So 2 on and 2 out, runners at the corners. Evans at first and Matthew Waugh over at third. It'll be up to Blake Hunter to try and get them home. Hunter in that top group in RBIs. He's got a dozen on the season and has not been here for all the games. So 12, a pretty good number for the number of plate appearances that he has had. Hard grounder, it's a 1-hop to first. Alan West goes over to pick up the ball and back to the bag for the out. So side retired, Batista recovers, doesn't surrender anything. For the Gremlins in the inning, no runs, no hits, 2 men left. We played 1 complete here in Rockford, Michigan. You're watching the USA Softball Men's Major National Championship right here on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back with a second right after this. Top half of the second inning, Anton Brown steps in for the Bandits. He'll be followed by Alan West and Isaac Nunez. The DP, Dan Vigil, if we get that far, would follow them. Swing and a miss on a beautiful changeup. That one just floating in for a strike. So Cuba quickly ahead 0-2 on Brown. Way upstairs, tries to come back with a rise ball. So 1-2 count on Brown. Osika in the outside edge, called strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Osika, second in a row. That'll bring Alan West to the plate. So Osika throwing the change, the big roundhouse rise out of the zone, and then comes back right around the edge of that strike zone. Good location for the young right-hander. Alan West looks at the first pitch, hailing from Arizona, down in the southwest, a little closer to my home back in California. Over the top drop, in for a called strike, good rotation. You see that tight spin. Ball disappears at the last minute. Same pitch, same result, swing and a miss. A little extra velocity on that one, really popping the leather. In for a called strike 3, and Cuba really getting himself into a rhythm out there. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in a row in the early going. Here's Isaac Nunez, the DP for the Pueblo Bandits. Little rise ball away off the plate, just spinning away. Cuba in that final championship game against Hill United last week in Elkland. 7 strikeouts, just 3 runs on 3 hits, and actually going into the final inning had only surrendered 1 run. It was that big home run from Kyle Ezekiel that pulled the Chiefs closer to extend the game, only to have Matthew Waugh put it away in the bottom half of the inning with a double, scoring Mullins. If you didn't see the end of that one, tune in and fast forward to the very last play. You see Nick Mullins flying around third base and a beautiful slide at home, reaching back, catching the plate with his hand. Worth your time if you haven't had a chance to see it. So after striking out the first 2 batters, 3-0 now to Nunez. Trying to be a little too fine, misses upstairs again. So a walk to Nunez, second of the game for Cuba, and the batter will be Dan Vigil. Vigil, one of the native Pueblo, Colorado players on this Bandit squad. Over the top drop, there's that hard rotation on that one, in for a called strike. 2 out, second inning action, no score if you joined us late. This was a scheduled 11 o'clock start, didn't begin until heading towards the noon hour. Rain delay last night. 2 games on tap. They were scheduled. They played about 3 or 4 innings before the rains began. Really hard rains that soaked the fields. So they rescheduled those games for early this morning. Meanwhile, Cuba with another backwards K in the book, 3 of them in the second inning. 4 strikeouts so far for the right-hander from Czechia. We'll head to the home half of the second. You're watching the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll be back with more. Don't go far. Home half of the second inning for the Gremlins. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. That's Avery, Retamar, and Malar-Zook. Mullins would follow if any of them can reach. Brian getting a start at third base today, a position that has been shared by a number of players on the Gremlins since Jerome Remeke went out with an injury in the first part of July. Gonzalo Mazmu getting some starts there in Ashland, Ohio. Last week, Abelardo Peñuelas, the fine youngster from Mexico. And today it's Brian Avery, very versatile player. He and Blake Hunter both playing several positions infield. Blake will do some catching, as will Brian. So great depth on the bench and coming off the bench with Avery and Hunter getting starts and doing that without missing a beat. Ball low. Avery and Hunter both hailing from British Columbia, which of course will be the host in August to the ISC World Tournament up in Surrey as the tournament heads out west for the first time in a while. Last year, of course, in Denmark, Wisconsin, circle tap country. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball. That ball starting at the letters and running right up. Good pitch by Bautista, who has been pretty effective thus far against the Gremlins in the early going. Second strikeout of the game for Bautista. It'll be Lucio Retamar stepping in. Retamar, the newcomer from Argentina this year, just in his first year with the Gremlins. Shows bunt, doesn't get it down. It's in for a called strike. Good pitch for that bunt for Bautista. The ball disappearing downward. Retamar unable to get the bat on the ball. Retamar among the top hitters on the Gremlins. He has settled into a pretty much a starting role for the team this year. Ball stays upstairs. He lays off the high one. Retamar leading the team in runs scored with 23. Up near the leaders in RBIs behind Ochoa and Evans with 16. And that high on-base percentage. He has been a fixture for the Gremlin offense this year. Little change-up bounces in front of the plate. Bautista trying to give him a little different look after the hard ones. Retamar 3 home runs on the season, third behind Evans and Ochoa. The big note on Retamar's home runs, all 3 game winners. Line down the foul line, just off the left field line. Good hard drop. Retamar just going the other way with it, just missing a double. Should that ball have gone fair. Retamar with a 3-run homer to win the Chiefs Challenge tournament back in the beginning of the season up in Simcoe, Ontario. That gave the Gremlins a tournament win over Hill United in that championship game. Change up, bounce to second. Flips it over to first. Easy play for David Jaluska. So 2 up and down quickly. Bautista not overpowering the hitters, but pitching very effectively. Almost through the lineup for the first time. Here's Ladislao Malarczuk. Laddie with a home run on Sunday at that Elkland tournament last week. A late arrival this season, so like Inoka, just really finding his groove of late, starting to hit for extra bases again. And good power. Something you don't expect or hope to run into as a pitcher when you get down around that 8th spot in the batting order, but power from top to bottom in this Gremlin lineup. No easy outs. Drop ball in at the knees or thereabouts. Veal in maybe a step or two from third, off the line a step. Allen West right at the bag over at first. Lined into the hole in to left field for a base hit, and Malarczuk with a 2-out single. Hard hit ball finding the 5.5 hole over there between Veal and Nova. And to the 9 spot we go with Nick Mullins. So Malarczuk continuing to swing a good bat for the Gremlins. Nick Mullins, we'll see if he can advance the runner. Maybe find a gap out there and bring him home. Temperatures heating up here now in Rockford as we head towards the 1 o'clock hour. Not quite as hot as it'll be later on, but it's like somebody just turned up the heat in the house. We're outdoors under a tarp right behind home plate, so we can still say beautiful weather right now, but you can feel it coming. Second inning action here, Pueblo and New York. The Gremlins batting with 2 out. In for a call, strike, big high drop ball. Started on the outside of the edge, just hopped down. Malarczuk runs pretty well over at first base. Not as fast as some of the youngsters like Mumu and Mazmu and Peñuelas, but a good heady base runner. Just missing with that one. Bautista turns his back on home plate. Thought he had one there. Three balls and 1 strike to Nick Mullins. He is the leader on this team in walks. He and Benny Noka. Line to short. Nova backing up on it. Flips it over to Jaluska for the force out at second base. For the Gremlins in the inning, no runs, a hit, a man left. We've played 2 complete, no score. New York Gremlins and the Pueblo Bandits. You're watching the USA Softball Men's Major National Championship from Rockford, Michigan. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back. Top half of the third inning here for Pueblo, 9-1-2. First pitch swinging is Caleb Roberts. Roberts, a Colorado boy. He'll be followed by Chris Norris and then David Jaluska at the top of the order. Shows bunt, doesn't get it down. No score in this one. Cuba with a 3-strikeout inning in the second. 4 in the game. That one off the edge. 2 balls and a strike to Caleb Roberts. Caleb, the center fielder for this Pueblo Bandit team. Swing and a miss on a good drop ball. Bottom falls out. Good velocity on the pitch from Osika. Hard one misses just off the plate away. So the count full and 3-2 on Caleb. Swing and a miss. The bottom fell out of that one. Down on strikes, swinging goes Roberts. Strikeout number 5 on the day already for Cuba Osika, young right-hander from Checha. Back to the top of the order we go. Chris Norris. Chris grounded to Evans at short in his first trip to the plate. Little change up and a beauty in for a called strike. Cuba will heat things up, perhaps not in the radar gun range of a Marco Diaz, but he is definitely up there among some of the leaders. There's a change up again, just floating up there. Way out in front is Norris. Big changeup like that, a very important pitch to someone like Cuba. His throws hard, puts those hitters a little off balance, not able to sit back on the hard stuff. In for a called strike 3. Cuba Osika looking smooth and easy out there for the Gremlins right now. Down on strikes goes Norris, another backwards K. 4 of the 6 strikeouts have been of that variety, which tells you something about the pitches and the way the hitters are seeing them or not. David Jaluska grounded to Blake Hunter at first base his first time up. 2 quick outs for the Gremlins, looking for that third one to get back to hitting. Swing and a miss late on that one. The bottom again falling out. So Pueblo having a hard time with young Jacob, or Cuba as he is known. Just off the plate. Cuba asking where the pitch was, pointing down to say just a little down, not arguing the call, just looking to define that strike zone so he knows where to throw it, where he's missing. Hard one foul and out of play on the left side. Jaluska fighting that one off, just trying to make some contact. Neither Osika or Besgrove, the type of pitcher that you see players hanging in to pull the ball much against. They both throw hard. You've got to just go with it, put it in play. Full count now. Grounder foul. Pablo Figueroa waiting on deck if Jaluska can reach. 3 balls and 2. Change up, just gets a little piece of it. Seeing that pitch more today, I think, than we've seen all year from him, and it is really, really developing into a weapon for Cuba. Hard one hopper to Avery at third, up with it over to Hunter, side retired. 3 up and down for the Bandits in the inning. No runs, no hits, no one left. We've played 2.5, still no score. New York Gremlins and the Pueblo Bandits. We'll be back with more on the Gremlins Network. Home half of the third inning for the Gremlins. Back to the top of the shop with Matthew Waugh, Ty Sebastian, and Ben Inoka. Seems like he was just here a moment ago. Bautista able to get through the batting order for the Gremlins without surrendering a run, something that not too many pitchers have done on the 2024 season. The Gremlins at the top of the heap when it comes to generating offense. Not overpowering the hitters, but pitching very steady. Only 2 pitchers come to mind at the moment that have done that to the Gremlins this year. Brad Kilpatrick of AWP pitched pretty effectively in their semifinal loss in Port Huron. Brad, the USA pitcher, Team USA. And then the fine pitcher from Botswana, Padi Mazulakwa. Got through the batting order and then some in that tournament. Set down 12 Gremlins in a row, which I think is the highest mark on the season. In for a called strike. Neither Bautista or Padi overpower the hitters, so maybe a lesson in there for pitchers. Waugh walked in his first plate appearance, got as far as third base, but unable to come in. As Bautista pitched out of trouble in that first inning. Double elimination tournament here in Rockford. So it's a bracket you're looking for online. You'll find it at the Softball USA Michigan website. Doing a great job of posting all of the results as they occur. We'll catch you up on some of the scores during the weekend, during some of the broadcasts. We mentioned Bear Creek, a winner in their first game. Circle Tap also today with a win, 2 of the top teams in this tournament. Bear Creek ranked number 4, Circle Tap ranked number 5 in the world. And if you're wondering, Bear Creek and Circle Tap both in the New York Gremlins end of the bracket, so collision course ahead. Tries to check his swing, got handcuffed. Did Matthew Waugh. Hill United Chiefs and the Drillers at the other end of the bracket. Winner of this game will face the San Antonio Glowworm team. They were a winner today over the Oma Tigres. Glowworm, a number 12 ranked, beating the number 11 ranked Oma Tigres. Great matchup for a first game. Change up, he bounces it, and once again, Matthew aboard with a walk to lead it off. Here's Ty Sebastian. Sebastian struck out looking in the first. Another in the long line of good hitting pitchers, finding himself in the number 2 slot, which before had been held by Jerome Remeke. Skipper Greg Leather moving those 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters around a little bit, trying to find the same mix and blend that he had with Remeke in the lineup. In large part, just moving everyone up in the order. Foul tip to the screen. Although today, with the addition of Ty Sebastian for this tournament, gives him another weapon and allows him to keep Inoka, Evans, and Hunter down in the heart of the batting order. While with good speed, he will run on his own or with direction. Had second stolen on the walk to Inoka. Gets a good jump off the bag over there. And Bautista now set and ready. Here's the pitch to Sebastian. Brown sets up outside. He hits the glove, but away. Sebastian, as we said, one other tournament that he played for the Gremlins, just one hit, one RBI. Foul tip back to the screen. Versatile player in the mold of Mr. Ohtani out in Los Angeles. Can pitch and can hit, both in very impressive fashion. And now he wants time. A little squibber out to second. Jaluska stays in front of it. Flips it over to Allen West for the out. Moving up to second on the play is Matthew Waugh. So Benny Noka will step in with one out. Benny walked in his first time to the plate. He raced on a force out at second. Benny with 12 walks on the season, a couple of hit batters to go with that. He is just behind Ochoa and Mullins. Mullins the leader with 15 walks, Ochoa with 13. Gremlins a very walk-centric team. Off on the pitch is Matthew Waugh as the ball finds its way between the wickets of Anton Brown. So Matthew over at third with one out on the pass ball. Benny a fly ball hitter. Anything to the outfield will score Waugh easily. It's a high hopper though to third. Up with it on the throw and ground out for the second out. So Inoka unable to bring Waugh home. It'll be up to Cole Evans. Evans right near the top of the Gremlin hitters, right alongside Lucio Redemar behind Eric Ochoa, who leads in almost all the offensive categories. But Evans likewise among the leaders. Hits, RBIs, runs scored, and home runs. Good power by the New Zealander. Misses inside, almost hits him. Outstanding ISC World Tournament last August at Denmark. And has picked up the 2024 season right where he left off. Ball inside low as Bautista continues to try and pound the inside of that plate. Blake Hunter would be next, but right now the game between Bautista and Evans. In for a called strike. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one. Defense straight away, corners even with the bags. Just off the plate. Lots of offense from the Gremlins last week in Elkland. They had several, I think 3 or 4 of the 5 wins they had of the run rule variety. A little quiet at the moment here in Rockford. Ball high, and Evans works the walk. So the Gremlins have had a number of base runners. They had 2 aboard in the first, both walks. The base hit by Malarzouk, and now 2 walks here in the third. 1 to Waugh, and then now to Cole Evans, giving Blake Hunter a chance to drive in a run. Hunter a ground out to first, his first time up. In for a called strike. Hunter hitting just shy of that 300 mark. The on-base percentage up over 4, as many of the Gremlins are. A patient group, lots of walks. 2 hopper to short. Nestor Nova, nice and easy, flips to Jaluska at second. And once again, side retired. Bautista escapes trouble in the third. For the Gremlins, no runs, no hits, a couple of men left. We played 3 complete, no score. New York Gremlins and the Pueblo Bandits here in Rockford, Michigan at the USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. We'll be back with more on the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. Don't go away. Top half of the 4th inning for the Pueblo Bandits. Melvin Bautista pitching a very fine game, managed to get through the first 3 innings without surrendering a run, something that no pitchers in Elkland last weekend were able to do. 3-4-5 for the Bandits here. It's Figueroa, Nova, and Brown. Hard ground ball, 1 hopper to Malarzouk, flips it over to Blake Hunter for the first out. Swing and a miss. Good drop ball. Free swinging Anton Brown on that, or excuse me, Nestor Nova on that one. Swing and a miss on the drop ball. Took a little bit off of that one. Not quite that hard snap on the first. So same pitch, a drop ball, but changing speeds just enough to throw off Nestor Nova. Oh, one hopper speared by Osika. Nice defensive play by the pitcher fielding his own position. Cole Evans was heading up the middle to cut that one off, but you'll see on the replay, Kuba reaching up high and back to get that one. So 2 quick outs on a couple of ground balls. That'll bring up Anton Brown. Brown down on strikes last time up, looking. One of 4 players to go down looking against Kuba thus far. Swing and a miss. There's the changeup again. Mullins working that one into the regular rotation, not just a show pitch, but he is using that one in sequence. We just don't know when. Or the hitters don't know when, that's for sure. Line shot down the left field line, fair ball, rounding first. On his way to second base with a stand-up double is Anton Brown, going the other way with it. Something he did in an earlier at-bat, just missing a ball foul. That one found its way, put back in play by Matthew Waugh out in left field. So the Bandits get their first look at a scoring opportunity. We'll have a runner for Brown. That on the 2-out catcher rule. So it'll be Nestor Nova, who made the last out on the ground out to Kuba, who will come in and run. So inserting a bit of speed for Brown. And it looks like, not sure if we've got a substitution coming on. Just announcing the catcher coming in, or excuse me, the shortstop coming in to run for the catcher, as we said. At the plate, Alan West, he was a strikeout victim, looking his first time up. Over the top drop in for a called strike. Kuba coming right at Alan West, challenging him. Misses downstairs, hard drop, didn't bite. Change up and a beauty. Floats that one in for a strike. Missing downstairs, trying to keep it under the hands of Alan West, not let him extend those arms. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Osika trying to get out of a little bit of trouble here in the 4th. In for called strike 3. So for the second time today, looking down on strikes is Alan West. Kuba Osika reaches back for a little extra after giving up the double to Anton Brown for the Bandits in the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. We played 3.5. Still no score. New York Gremlins and the Pueblo Bandits here in Rockford, Michigan at the USA Men's Major national championship on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back with the Gremlins. Five, 6, 7 for the Gremlins here in the fourth. No runs scored by either team in this game. Who is pitching a gem other than the walks. Lots of base runners for the Gremlins, 4 walks to go with that 1 hit. So it seems like lots of action out there in the bases, but right now they have nothing to show for it. Zip, zip ball game. Rise ball way upstairs, outside for a ball. Fouled up off the screen on the right side. Avery not on hand last weekend in Oakland to enjoy the Gremlins win in that tournament. The Gremlins winners in Simcoe, Ontario at the Chiefs Challenge. Also winning at Port Huron. In for a called strike, or just inside, I'm sorry. Finishing second in that Ashland tournament to the Drillers, -4 of their regulars in that one, 2 on injury, 2 otherwise. And once again, a walk to lead off the innings. So the nemesis for Batista has been the walk. Has not given himself an easy inning with runners aboard. We'll have a runner. It'll be young Tane Mumu, the speedster from New Zealand, who will come on and run for Avery. Lucio Redemar stepping to the plate. Tane with great speed at first. He will run very aggressive on the bases. The speed giving Greg Leather the opportunity to move his runners up almost at will. But with no score, we'll see. Nobody out. Mumu at first. Redemar at the plate. Shows bunt. Pulls it back. The corners. Vihel and West coming in on the play. Everybody moving. Redemar with good power, good contact hitter. So maybe just moving the defense around a little bit. Giving the Bandits something to think about. Way upstairs. Skipper Greg Leather running through the signs over in the third base coach's box. Tane Mumu over at first, dialed in. way upstairs. Again, same location. Trying to come in on Redemar, the left-hander. Not able to find the zone with that pitch. So 3 balls on Redemar. Bautista in danger of walking another hitter here. That one's in for a called strike right at the knees down the center of the plate. High hopper to short. Nova goes over to the bag, not in time to get the speedy Mumu. Jaluska was headed towards the bag, and at first it looked like Nova might flip to him, but felt like he was close enough to run over and step on it. Didn't get there in time, so the Gremlins with 2 runners aboard and nobody out. So hitter, fielder's choice in my book. Mumu's speed makes the difference, and Ladislao Malarzuk will come to the plate with a chance to drive in a run. Ladislao with a single to left last time up. That is the lone hit for the Gremlins thus far. Speed changes everything, and Tane Mumu did just that in the last play. Pressure on the defense. And now some of that on Bautista, having a pitch with 2 aboard and still nobody out. Shows bunt, everybody moving. It's in for a called strike, corners in. Nova going over to third on the play. And again, Malarzuk, good contact hitter, good power. Whether that was an intended bunt or just trying to move the defense, keep them guessing. We'll see. Showing bunt again. He gets it down, a beauty in front of the plate. The only play that Bautista has, a 1-4 put out. David Jaluska covering on the play. Runners moving over to second and third. On the sacrifice by Ladislao Malarzuk. Maybe a little bit harder than Laddie wanted. The ball got back to Bautista a little quicker, but successful in moving the runners. Nick Mullins with a chance to drive in the first run of the game. Mullins reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. In for a called strike. Ball upstairs. Mullins a tough out. He'll make plenty of contact, but really works the count as a veteran catcher might. Lots of walks, leading the team in that category. No easy at-bats for pitchers to deal with that. There he is, lays off that one, a close, but a little bit upstairs. Philosophy, of course, the more pitches you can see, the better you can size up the pitcher. It also helps the other hitters. Also makes the pitchers work. Bounce foul in front of the plate. Gremlins with their best look at a scoring opportunity here. Runners at second and third. Just the one out. Ball in the dirt, gets away from Brown, but he recovers and keeps it in front of him. Tani Mumu looks in at from third base, a big smile on his face, and not that time. Not as much territory behind home plate as we had in Elkland last week. That was wide open with some grass on the field as well, so he never knew. Time is out for a moment. I think we've got a umpire took one off the wrist. Samantha Carter over on the first base side. Gremlins trainer will attend to the umpire, home plate umpire. We'll take a break while we wait. We'll be right back. And we're set and ready. Back to the action. Mullins still at the plate. Umpire attended to. A wrist is taped up a little bit. No worse for wear. Three balls, two strikes on Mullins, and Bautista now wants a word with his catcher. He has been shaking off a lot of signs. Not sure if it's not being comfortable with the pitch being called or just trying to get the hitter thinking a little bit. A little cat and mouse always. Pitchers, you're always used to hearing somebody yell from the sideline. We heard it earlier. You don't have that many pitches. Fouled out of play up and over the backstop. Bautista, we mentioned, is the veteran of the pitchers on this Bandit team. Mateo Macas, the youngster, pitched in the first game that they won. Line to deep left field, way back and gone. 3-run shot off the bat of Nick Mullins. The pitch was up, and it was up and out of here. Line drive like a 3-wood. Nick Mullins cashes in the first runs of the game. Home run out of the 9 spot. So Gremlins finally punching through after putting runners aboard all game long. Nick Mullins brings home 3. So Nick Mullins coming home last week to score the winning run in the championship game in the walk-off. Now with a 3-run shot gives the Gremlins some much-needed offense here in Rockford. The inning started with the walk to Abry. Redemar reaching on the fielder's choice sacrifice, to follow by Malarzouk putting those runners in scoring position, but didn't matter what base they were on, all coming home on the big shot off the bat of Nick Mullins. Back to the top of the order, third time up for Matthew Waugh. He has walked in both prior plate appearances. Five walks on the day for Bautista, but he's managed to dodge the bullet up until now. Chris Norris out in left field for the Bandits, went as far back on that ball as he could, but all he could do is stand by and watch it cruise by like a missile. High hopper over the glove of the outstretched Allen West. He's going to head for two in just ahead of the throw with a stand-up double. So Matthew aboard all 3 times today. You'll see on the replay just a big high hopper. Gets on top of it, but no chance to get to that one had Allen West. So Matthew with a double to right. It'll be Ty Sebastian. Ty 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out to second base last time up. Foul tip back to the screen, just missed that one. We talked about the home run leaders for the Gremlins on the season. Ochoa with 6, Evans with 4, Redemar with 3. But it's Nick Mullins out of the 9 hole that provides the big offense for the Gremlins here in Rockford in game 1. Shows bunt off the plate. Bautista pitching very effectively despite the walks up until the home run. Managed to get out of trouble several times. The luck just ran out. He missed with that pitch to Mullins on the home run. Just got it up in the zone and right over the heart of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes on Ty Sebastian. Benny Noka waiting in the wings. Still just 1 out. That one bounces, goes to the backstop, and it looks like it might have stuck somewhere or gotten through. So they're going to put the brakes on Matthew Waugh over at third. I'm looking down below my feet. There's an opening at the fence, and it looks like that one squirted through. Anton Brown ran back to get it, and where'd the ball go? Out of play. So Waugh will stop at third base, and the ball did indeed find its way under the chain link fence right here in front of our booth. Sebastian checking the count from our home plate umpire, 2-2. Sebastian trying to pick up an RBI with Waugh just 60 feet away. In for a called third strike on the inside edge. Sebastian not happy with it, but doesn't stop to argue. Here's Benny Noka. Inoka walked in the first, didn't score. Grounded to third last time up. Strike called inside edge, the same location as the pitch on Sebastian, give or take. High hopper in the hole. Nova backhands it up and throws. Unable to hold on to it is Allen West. Not sure they would have had him anyway. Good defensive effort by Nova at its short. Very stylish shortstop out there. Going deep into the hole, but not able to get Inoka, so he's aboard with an infield single. 2 outs in the inning. It'll be Cole Evans Evans' fielder's choice reached, and then a walk. Comes inside, so Bautista deciding to work that inside part of the plate down on Evans after leaving one hanging out over the plate for Mullins. It's fine if you get it down and in. You just get it upstairs. These hitters on the Gremlins will turn on those. So all about location. Anton Brown giving him a good target, and Bautista for the most part hitting his spots. Just getting into a rhythm. Right back off of Bautista, bounces to West. He looks to first, but nobody there. I think Jaluska was headed up the middle when the ball was hit right back through the box. Bautista turned, hit him in the backside, and then it bounced towards first base. West picked the ball up, but Jaluska was heading towards second, so nobody at first. So another infield single. That'll bring a visit from the skipper. They'll check on him. He looks like he's okay. Unoka moving over to second on the play. Blake Hunter at the plate. Hunter 0 for 2 on the day so far. A couple of runners aboard, looking for a chance to expand that 3-run margin. 3-run lead for the Gremlins here in the fourth. Ball high upstairs. The Gremlins will score runs in handfuls, and a team like the Bandits or Bautista pitching, you've got to be careful. You give up a 3 spot, and next thing you know, you turn around, there's 3 more, and pretty soon you're up against a run rule and a shortened 5-inning game if you're not careful. Swing and a miss. Good rise ball. Tied him up inside. Downstairs misses for a ball. Until this inning, he had held them to just the lone hit off the bat of Malar-Zook back in the second inning. And despite the 5 walks, was able to walk the tightrope and not surrender anything. But the Gremlins cashing in here. The inning opened with a walk, the homer by Mullins, and then a couple 3 hits in a row here. Double and infield singles. That one's going to find, it finds the glove of Nestor Nova. Looked like it was headed for the grass. And he just ran the ball down, just outran it. Watch the replay on this one. I had hit written in my book by the time he caught up with that one. Great defense by the fine shortstop, Nestor Nova. Side retired, but the Gremlins cash in a 3 spot. Nick Mullins with a blast to left field, bringing home 3. To the 5th we go. New York Gremlins on top by a 3-0 score. We'll be back with more action from the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. So the Gremlins in the home half of the inning, they score 3 on 4 hits. A couple of men left to the 5th we go. 7-8-9 for the Bandits. Isaac Nanez, Dan Vigil, and Caleb Roberts. Nanez reached on a walk his first plate appearance. That back in the 2nd with 2 outs. But that was the inning that Kuba Ositka struck out the side. Change up and a beauty. Almost like a new pitch we're seeing here. It's a very refined changeup. Throws it anywhere in the count, anywhere in the strike zone. High hopper to first. It'll be foul on the right side. Swing and a miss, drop ball. Down on strikes goes Nanez for the first out. Eight strikeouts in the game now for Kuba. So he has already exceeded his roughly 7 strikeout a game norm. Swing and a miss. Late on the drop ball is Dan Vigil. Vigil going down looking his first time up. Little change up down in the dirt for a ball. Off the plate away downstairs. Swing and a miss and a kind of a body English curveball. It started out as a rise, but breaking away from the right-hander. You see Kuba coming off the plate, pitching plate to his left. Change up, backhanded by Avery. He'll have to hurry in time. 2 outs. So to the 9 spot we go. Caleb Roberts will step in. Caleb, a Colorado player, actually originally from Michigan. So back home to his roots. 1 at bat so far against Kuba, struck out swinging to start off the 3rd inning for the Bandits. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one. In for a called strike. Rise ball high. I think Kuba at his best when he's coming right at the hitters and challenging them. That's been the case most of the game. Backhanded by Hunter. Flips to Malarzouk and not able to get the out, but Malarzouk barehands it as he comes across the bag. Good effort by Laddie. Caleb Roberts aboard with an infield single. Similar to the play we saw earlier where Allen West got pulled off the bag and just nobody having time to get over to it. Malarzouk, pretty good effort though. Here's Chris Norris. Norris 0 for 2. Ground out, strikeout. Ball low. Pretty good at bat on that last one by Caleb Roberts. Just managed to hit it where they weren't playing. Rise ball, that one's going to be foul and out of play over on the left side. Norris from the Utah area, Salt Lake City, I believe. Home of some fast pitch greats, Peter Meredith among them. One hopper off the screen, straight back. Big logistical task for the USA softball folks here in Rockford, working hard, doing a great job of running all 4 games on this wagon wheel complex. Like the Olympics, always some challenges along the way. Hard drop ball in for a call, strike 3. So down goes Norris, 3rd out of the inning, 2nd strikeout of the inning. That's 9 on the day for the right-hander from Chetcha. No runs, a hit, a man left. We head to the home half of the 5th inning. 3-0 Gremlins. We'll be back. You're watching the Gremlins Network on Softball Premier TV from Rockford, Michigan. Six, seven, eight for the Gremlins here in the 5th inning. That's Brian Avery, Lucio Redemar, and Ladislao Malarzuk out of power. Avery 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in the 2nd, then walked and scored on that tee-off shot off the bat of Nick Mullins. Avery, as we mentioned, not quite as many plate appearances as some of the other hitters, but very productive with his hits, generating runs more often than not. Brian with 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer in his smaller sample size of at-bats. So somebody they are looking to drive in some runs. He has done it all year. Lined up the middle, base hit Brian Avery. Batista just getting out of the way of that one. So the Gremlins once again with a leadoff batter aboard. They've had the leader on in the 1st, the 3rd, the 4th, and now the 5th inning. Lots of pressure on that defense. That one a clean single to center. The Gremlins batted around in the prior frame in the 4th inning. Avery was the one that started the 3-run rally. Here's Lucio Redemar. 0 for 2 on the day, a couple of ground balls. Fielder's choice on the 2nd one. Just missing downstairs. Ball high, stays upstairs. Gremlins 3 runs on 5 hits. 5 walks has made this seem like a lot more activity for the Gremlins. Runners on virtually every inning. Outside edge for a called strike. Bautista started the game, still aboard. Line to second, speared by Jaluska for the out. Avery stays put. Pretty good location. Looked like the ball was down. He got just enough of it. Lined it, but Jaluska right there. Temperatures heading into the 90s, they tell me here. 90 some odd percent humidity to go with it. So far it's been fairly comfortable here in the earlier part of the day. Lifted foul off the screen on the left side. Malarczuk single in the second and a nice sacrifice bunt. That one set the table for the 3-run shot off the bat of Mullins. Checks his swing. The ball gets away from Brown. Down to second goes Avery on the pass ball. They appeal the swing. They don't get the call. Malarczuk able to hold up on it. A ball and a strike to Ladislao Malarczuk. Brian Avery at second base. Gremlins trying to add another insurance run. Grounder foul just past Allen West. Malarczuk with a home run in last week's semifinal game at the Gremlins Invitational in Elkland. He, Evans, and Redemar with home runs in that game. The win over the Northeast Drillers, number 3 ranked in the world. Up high, and he gets off the glove of Brown. Over to third now is Avery. And the Gregs have traded places. Skipper Greg Leather now down at first. And it's Greg Hicks putting a word in to Brian Avery standing at third base. So the count even at 2-2 on Ladislao Malarczuk. Waiting on deck, Eric Ochoa about to get his first at-bat. Change up, high hopper, finds its way into right field. Malarczuk runs right past first on his way to second. He's got a stand-up RBI double. Avery coming home to score. Run number 4 for the Gremlins. So good patience at the plate by Malarczuk. Sits back on one and hits that high hopper again out of the reach of Allen West at first base. So Malarczuk with his second hit of the day. Skipper Greg Leather getting plenty of production out of the 8-9 spots in the order. Meanwhile, pinch hitter announced here, Eric Ochoa, top hitter for the Gremlins all year long. Did not start in this one. He'll come on to swing for Nick Mullins. They're announcing the other changes. Blake Hunter will move from first base to catcher. So Eric Ochoa will go in at first base. Remember, it was Mullins starting at catcher and Hunter at first. So the depth of the Gremlins once again on display. A The versatility of so many of the players. What can we say about Eric Ochoa that we haven't said? He is the leading hitter, highest average, highest number of hits, most home runs, most RBIs, right up there among the run scored leaders. Meanwhile, a pitching change. It looks like Mateo Macas coming on for Bautista. So we'll let him make his warm-up tosses. We'll be right back with Eric Ochoa. Where was it? The car? So pitching change for the Bandits. I stand corrected, though. That looks to be Roberto Sierra, not Mateo Macas, who threw the first game in this tournament for the Bandits. Roberto hails from Mexico, slightly built, standing up against a powerful offensive juggernaut that is Eric Ochoa. What a hitter to have to face for your first batter. Ball gets off the shin guard of Brown. Over to third goes Malarzouk. So a ball to Eric Ochoa. Malarzouk down at third. 4-0 Gremlins. 1 run in the inning. Bounces that one in the dirt. So Sierra coming on in place of Bautista. Leave the book open on Bautista, though. Malarzouk belongs to him. In spite of the walks, Melvin with a very good game against the Gremlins. High hopper, that one's going to be over to Jaluska. Over to his right, up and throws to West for the out. Coming home to score on it is Malarzouk. RBI for Eric Ochoa. Productive outs. So 5-0, and that'll take us back to the top of the order. Matthew Waugh in his 4th time to the plate. He has reached all 3 prior times. A walk, and the double to right field in that 4th inning. 3-run 4th for the Gremlins. Misses downstairs with the ball. Great experience for the youngster Roberto Sierra here pitching against the New York Gremlins. Little curveball, that one comes in at the knees for a called strike. So a day he'll remember, a game that he will talk about for some time, I'm sure. Down by 5, I guess gives him the ability to just do the best he can here, and bounces that one in the dirt. Relax and try and get some outs. Bautista did a good job of that. Worked his way through the order a couple of times without trouble, or without surrendering to trouble. Ball downstairs. Matthew Waugh is aboard for the 4th time today. 3 of them on walks. Here's Ty Sebastian, 0 for 3 on the day. Still looking for his first hit. Looks down to Greg Hicks at third. Now steps in and ready. Matthew Waugh likewise over at first, looking to Greg Hicks. Grounded to the third, up with it in the throw. They get Sebastian at first, side retired, but not before the Gremlins add a couple. They get 2 runs on the 2 hits. Man left, we go to the 6th. 5-0 Gremlins on top of the Pueblo Bandits, and it's getting late for them. We'll be back with more action here on the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. We're on Softball Premier TV. Pitching change for the Gremlins. It'll be Ty Sebastian coming on in place of Kuba Osika. You'll recall that Sebastian in the game initially as the designated player, so he will slide in to pitch in this one. And as we mentioned at the top of the inning, Eric Ochoa, who came on to pinch hit for Nick Mullins in the 9 spot, he'll go to first. Blake Hunter, who was at first, will come back behind the dish. So a new trio in the infield. Everybody else staying put. Ty Sebastian, the fine right-hander from the Toronto Batmen, number 6 ranked team in the world. Ty, one of the best. So 6th inning action, and the Bandits will be down to their final 6 outs, 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. The heart of the Pueblo lineup. David Jaluska, the youngster from Checha, will step in. David started the season at 19 years of age, just turned 20. Youngster, first pitch swinging, hits a smash to Evans. Evans steady up with it over to Ochoa for the out. Good hard hit ball off the bat of David Jaluska. Final note on Jaluska, they tell me he's an electrician, and I know they're having some electrical problems around the diamond here. Might want to corral him after the game. Here's Pablo Figueroa. Figueroa 0 for 1, ground out to second and walked. Those, of course, against the starter, Kuba Osika. Figueroa getting his first look at Ty Sebastian. Little over-the-top drop, a one-hopper back to Sebastian. Easy play over to Ochoa, 2 outs. So with a 5-run margin, Sebastian just coming right at these hitters. Here's Nestor Nova. Nova has shown us some very flashy defense out there at shortstop, making a couple of great plays today. One in particular off the bat of Blake Hunter, the ball heading to center field, a sure base hit. Somehow he caught up with it, snow-coned it for a catch. Swing and a miss. Big hard rise ball, good velocity. Sebastian turning the dial up on that one. And again with the rise ball, Nova catches up with it, but it's a high pop-up in the infield. It'll be Cole Evans to make the catch. So Ty Sebastian, a good, easy 1-2-3 inning for the Gremlins. To the home half of the 6th we go. Gremlins on top, 5-0. You're watching the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship from beautiful Rockford, Michigan. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network. Come on back to watch the end of this one. Benny Noka will lead things off for the Gremlins here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So it's 3-4-5. Inoka, Evans, and Hunter working against the youngster Roberto Sierra from Mexico. Sierra, one of many international players on this Pueblo lineup. I guess like all teams that play at the upper levels, you find the talent wherever they may come from, but the gates have opened, and most all of these clubs with multinational rosters, the Gremlins certainly front and center on that group. Benny hailing from New Zealand. Change-up floats out of the zone. The Gremlins, we mentioned 23-3 on the season. One of those losses came at the hands of their own players. 5 of them, the New Zealanders, all playing for the New Zealand Black Sox in that Saskatoon tournament. That was the run-up tournament to the WBSC World Cup qualifier. Inoka, Evans, Mumu, Remeke, even Daniel Chapman got into the mix. So the Black Sox beat the Gremlins, one of only 3 losses all year, and they have their own players to thank for it. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Inoka. Benny 1 for 2 on the day, has been aboard twice, walked, and had that infield single last time up. Down in the dirt, and once again, Inoka works the walk. He and Mullins, a little internal competition in that walks lead. They are both off the charts from most everyone else. Here's Cole Evans. Off the top of the glove of Brown, down to second goes Inoka on the wild pitch. That one just a little too high in the zone. Grounder in the dirt. Pitch to Evans inside for a ball, trying to tie him up inside, stay out of harm's way. In for a called strike. Grounder foul up along the left side. On deck waiting for his first at-bat in the game, Gonzalo Masmu out in the on-deck circle. He'll be batting for Blake Hunter. Lifted high into the outfield. Back on it, back. Gone! Home run, Cole Evans to right center field. Got that one up in the jet stream, and it just carried. Coming home to score, Benny Noka right behind him, Cole Evans. Exclamation mark on this one. So a 2-run homer. That takes the Gremlin lead to 7. And we have a run rule finish once again for the Gremlins. Final score here, New York. Gremlins 7, Pueblo Bandits nothing. Cole Evans and Nick Mullins providing the home run power. So the Gremlins will advance. They will play tonight. That game originally scheduled for 9, I believe, has been pushed back to 10 p.m. So Gremlin fans, you've got the day off. Go run your errands. Grab something to eat. Come on back tonight. We'll be around late into the evening for the nightcap. Catch a nap if you need it. We'll be back on the air here on the Gremlins Network, courtesy of Softball Premier TV. So the Gremlins out to a 1 game in the win column for this men's major tournament here in Rockford. Check the bracket to see how the rest of the games are going. They're online. Do a Google for USA Softball Michigan. You'll find all of the details and all of the game matchups. For the Gremlins Network, and I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll be back tonight. Hope you can join us.
For the latest in softball website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball. On demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com.